Hello folks. So from today onwards I'm starting a new series on Red Hat Identity Management servers where we'll discuss about installation part, replica setup and all the features of Red Hat Identity Management. So for today I'll be telling you how we can set up and install this IPA server setup on CentOS 8 servers. So for this I have taken two servers. One will be a master and second will be again master. Both will be in a multi-master replication setup. So because installation method is something which will be on my first master, actually I'll be installing this server, IPA server. So if you gonna go for a single IPA server setup on a CentOS 8 machine, then you can follow the first server, my first server setup instructions. So I'll be covering almost everything in that. And if you wish to proceed for a setup where you wish to set up a multi-master replication server, then you can follow the complete video. So let's start now. So I have two servers, IPA 8.1 and IPA 8.2. I'm starting both the servers right now. Guys, as I said in my earlier video, that IPA server is useful in case of your enterprise where you need a single user and group database to be managed, and those users and groups, using that you can manage role-based and host-based access control, and even you can manage the DNS server and certificate servers, CA authority server. So all these are the features actually which is there with identity management server itself. So the first requirement is we'll go as per this notepad. I have mentioned all these steps which I am gonna perform on these all server. So first I will be setting up this primary server. So the first step is to install CentOS 8. It is already there in my case, so I'll be performing these steps. So setup IP and hostname is the first one which I'll be doing. So I'm running after login this nmtui command. So using this I'm giving a manually. So this will be my this will be my IP address for first server, master 1 you can say, and I am using domain MYLAB.LOCAL. IP version 6 I'm ignoring because I do not require it. We'll be setting up the host name. So the first host name will be IPA 8.1.mylab.local. Guys, this host name must be fully qualified domain name, otherwise your system will not work. So because these have been installed, let's reboot this first server and I'll be moving to the second server. Same, I'll set up host name and the IP address for this server. This will be 115. search domain MYLAB.local, IP version 6 ignore, and then fqdn hostname. So this will be ipa82.mylab.local, rebooting it. Alright, so I'm taking from here my terminal, and in my first tab I'm taking the remote SSH section for the first server, and in my second tab second server. This will become online in some while. Okay, so I am in both the servers, so I'm setting up the first server first. So before moving ahead, let's make a host file entry in both the servers. So the IP is 114 for ipa81.mylab.local, and 115 is for ipa82. I'm going to copy this because I need to replicate in my second server also the same setting. Alright, done. So moving ahead with the first machine, where I'll be installing master, the first master first. So the second step, adding host entry, is also completed. Now this step is where I'll be enabling IPA appstream module, and then will install IPA server plus ipa-server-dns package. So what is appstream in CentOS 8 and Redhat 8 is something which is new, and it is introduced in CentOS 8 and Redhat 8 in these two distributions. Redhat introduces this appstream. Earlier it was not present in the CentOS 7 or the prior versions. So what is it about totally? So it is something, friends, let me tell you one more thing. If you will be installing directly this IPA server package, DNS install IPA server, the installation will be broken. And one of my colleague has also asked the same question in past, why in CentOS 8 it is broken. So here comes the appstream in picture actually. So what you will do is, since Redhat launches this appstream, so it's kind of modular structure. So DNF module list, and you will get a lot of packages list. So what you will need to do for IDM is particularly to search for IDM, and you will get to know that we have two module profile. So in DL1 stream you can get these common packages with add trust, client, DNS and server. So I'll be using this one, DNF enable module IDM DL1. Sorry, DNS module enable. So it says that these modules including IDM, this is IDM which is gonna be enabled, but these rest other fours are actually the dependency, so these will also be enabled, right? So it's not going to install, it will actually, this command will actually enable the required appstream modules. Pretty fine, I'm ready to go. So the next command will be DNS install ipa-server, ipa-server-dns, and it will take some time depending on my internet speed. Packages will be installed. So I've decided actually in this IPA server IPA server session and in this series I will actually try to cover all the IPA related topics, including the features, components, anatomy and everything, but moreover it will be focused to the part where you can perform, not the theory part. Alright, so the package has been installed now. Moving ahead, once appstream for IPA is IDM is enabled, and so we have installed the packages also. So next is to run this command. Now I'll tell you about this command. So this command is doing nothing but the first option. If we'll go option by option, then ipa-server-install, and then I instruct this command that I've given this option to auto reverse, where it will create reverse DNS zone automatically, and then the forwarder. So forwarder is nothing but when I'll use this IPA server as a DNS server, so it will resolve actually for all the records which it is having, right? Like if I need to create any record for MYLAB.LOCAL forward zone, then it will resolve. But what about the other, like google.com, Facebook or anything? So for that reason I'm giving a forwarder. So what it will do is, first it will search anything in its own database and the zones which we have defined, and if any record is not there in its local database, then it will go to the forwarder and then will try to resolve from there. So first I have given 2 forwarder, you can use 3, 4 or more, and then I've given an option to set up the DNS server, because I need to set up a DNS server also along with the IPA functionality. So setup-kra is for Kerberos server, and I've given actually idstart. This is something for we using in POSIX accounts. So because in Linux, for every user we need to give a UID. Every user is associated with a UID and GID numbers. So if I'll not supply a range for ID start and maximum, so what it will do, it will take automatically an ID start and ID max, and that maybe it starts from lakhs, 1 lakhs, let's say 1 lakh will be the ID start. So once you will create your first user, then it will get a UID number of 1 lakh, and the second will be get like 1 lakh 1. So this is something which is actually will not be easy to manage. So I've given ID start from 2000 to idmax, and then I've given a password. This password is for admin password, sorry, for directory manager password, and the second password is for admin password. So admin is administrative first user, and the directory manager and its password is an account which is responsible for replication and moreover the infrastructure, the anatomy and the architecture of this IP server. So if you wish to modify any attribute types, if you wish to introduce any new schemas and anything, then you need to supply this directory manager credential. But if you are simply trying to manage the users and the components of this what you call this IPA server, then you need to provide this admin password only. So next is the ream. Ream in Kerberos will always be in a capital letter, so I have given here MYLAB.LOCAL, and then N is the DNS name, I mean the domain name. So my domain name in my case is MYLAB.LOCAL. Again it will be in a small letter, and then I have given the host name for this server, right? However, it is not required because I have already a fully qualified domain name. So if you are missed, by the way, so this option will help you out. And then I have given this no-host-dns, and this option is nothing but it says that this will not search DNS, it's local DNS, which I have given in my case 1.1.1.1 for any DNS record to look up, like the host name IPA81.MYLAB.LOCAL is not having any DNS entry anywhere, right? It is just only in etc host file, so it will not going to search any DNS server for this record. Alright, so moving ahead, now it says, do you want to configure NTP server? So yes, I'll be configuring this. So it's saying for any NTP source server address, so I have in.pool.ntp.org, and the only one I need forward policies, that's fine. So it says, it displays actually all the options which it will use to install. So I'm pretty fine for all these options, so I'm saying system that continue to configure. So now in next step, it is trying to sync the time with Chronicity, and it will sync actually that time with the NTP server which I have given and the pool. And next you can see it has started setting up system. It will take some time, friends, to complete the installation. Let me pause the video. So guys, you can see my setup has been completed successfully. IPA server has been installed now. So next is what I can do. I'll try to get one Kerberos ticket, and now IPA user find all raw, and you can see my LDAP is also ready, and I have one user who is which is admin, right? So this will be my base DN, this will be OU for users, and there will also be OU for group. Let me show you. Right, so you can see accounts, CN accounts was my base DN, and I have one OU for groups, and this is IPA user is the group entry, right? Okay, so this is ready now, and if I wish to check DNS records also, so we can check DNS records also. Alright, so while searching for DNS, I am finding I've given one forward zone. This is MYLAB.LOCAL, and these all are the DNS records. Among them you can see that one A record for the host name itself has been created, IP81, and the respective A record IP is also there, right? So my IPA server is okay, ready to use. So next I'll be moving to, let's say I'm creating one user, so IPA user 8, first name Vijay, last name Sharma, and the username is Vijay. Sorry, okay, what is the option? You can always take help. So first and last is for the first and last. Alright, so user has been created, and you can see it is showing one brief about the user, that the user login name will be Vijay, first name last name I have given already, so full name will be this, and the display name is also this, and home directory you can see it's home Vijay, and login shell is bin sh. So I'll be customizing actually from the identity management dashboard, the global setting, where you do not need to modify anytime the login shell, and it will automatically take, whenever you will create a new user, then it will take automatically your desired login shell. So but in my case I need to modify, so what I'll do is I can get login shell entry from here. Login shell, it's shell. So what I can do is I can do IPA user mode, then shell, and then username is Vijay, right? So now user find Vijay, and oh, login shell by mistake I have given, but it should be like this. So now you can see that login shell has been changed from bin sh to bin bash. Alright, so I have a user, I have DNS record, I have Kerberos authentication is also working, right? So next we'll be moving to second server for replication. So for replication we need to follow this set of steps. Installing Centos 8, it has already been installed. Setting up IP and hostname, I have done this. 8 host entries we have completed in both the servers simultaneously, and then we'll be enabling IPA appstream module for IPA server and DNS package in the same way, just like we have earlier completed for IPA 8.1, right? So we did in IPA 8.1, right now we are doing in this IPA 8.2. So the command will be DNS module enable IDM DL1, enabling. Now DNS install IPA server, same command that will we can run over here also, including one one separate command. I mean IPA client package will also be installed over here. It requires actually. So IPA server DNS and IPA client. So let's install all these packages. Total download size is 146 MB. Hopefully it will complete very soon because internet speed is fortunately running very good. So let's wait till it get completed. I'm pausing video for now. So guys, packages are completed, installed now. So next will be to moving on to the next step. So once enabling appstream module and then installing IPA server and DNS package, we will install. First we will join this second server with the first server. So in order to joining, this is the command ipa-client-install, and the same command you can use for further if you wish to join any of Linux, CentOS or Redhat family machine to this existing IPA server. The same command you can use. So right now what I'm doing is I'm trying to install this. I'm trying to join this my IPA 8.2 machine with IPA 8.1, because right now IPA 8.1 becomes IPA server. We have set up all these things, but IPA 8.2 is a normal CentOS machine. So I'm joining it. Alright, so why it is not responding? Because one step we forgot actually to complete, and that is to open firewall for all services. So let's open all firewall ports, firewall cmd permanent add service. I'll open all the service port at once. So the services that are required to be open is HTTP, HTTPS, NTP, DNS, free IPA, LDAP, free IPA, LDAPs. So all these are required to open in firewall. Okay, let's reload and done. Moving to the second server, again we'll run the same command, and it is asking that DNS is not there. So it can proceed with fixed values, not with DNS discovery. So we can say yes, and then it says, do you want to configure Crony NTP server? In this case also yes, and then NTP source servers we can give in.pool.ntp.org, the same server, and then next. So it says it displays all the values, and then we can see yes to proceed. And now it is trying to attempt to sync the time with Crony sync, and then it will join. And once it will join, now it is asking for a user to who is authorized to enroll this computer. So I have admin is having full privileges, so admin, and I'm giving the password Redhat. It's fetching up. So it says successfully completed. So how we can check? We can now, because we are on IPA 8.2 and it is client right now, it is not a replication master server. So in order to check again, this will be if it has been joined with the IPA server, then from here if we'll request to get key tab, TGT key tab to the Kerberos server, then Kerberos server will issue the key tab, right? So I'm going to kinit admin user के लिए, and then admin user, it says done, right? List, and it has issued one TGT certificate for me, Kerberos key. Alright, so it's working, that's fine. And now because we have this, we can validate again with IPA user find vj, and it is returning all the values, right? And we can do show vj. So I have logged in as vj, but it has not created home directory because I have not supplied --mk home dir, so that's fine, it's not an issue. So once it is installed right now, so what I'll do is I'll again apply the same firewall entry. I mean, we'll open all the firewall services, permanent add service, and TP I opened, and DNS, HTTP, HTTPS, and free IPA, LDAP, and free IPA, LDAPs. Alright, making it permanent now, -reload. Okay, so the next command will be, in which, so we have completed, we have enabled, we have joined with existing one. Now we'll add this host to this host group. So we have this host group actually, so because I have TGT key now, Kerberos key, so I can show you host group find, and I have this host group IPA server, right? So now host group find all, and then --ra. So it will say, it will display actually how many members are there with this host group. So we have IPA 81 only, and if we'll see host find, then host find all ra, and then grep dn, so it will display how many hosts are there. So I have two hosts, one is 81 and second is 82. 82 has just joined actually. So what we'll do is we will add IP82 also to be part of the host group IPA servers, right? So for this we have the command IPA host group add members, and then IPA servers, the host group name, and then the host. So I'll copy this command and then I'll run it, right? Great. So next is, again I'll try to host find all IPA servers, and then it's okay, fine, IPA server actually, sorry, that's a typo, it's IPA servers, and then it says that right now 82 is also a member of this host group, right? So next step will be, we'll check the DNS record, right? So DNS record, in this DNS record you can see that IPA81 is present but IPA82 is not there. So I'll create one entry for IPA82 also. This is a command IPA DNS record -8, and then the zone name, that is MYLAB.LOCAL, and then the record name, and then a record IP, whatever it will be. So in my case 115, right? Given. Now finding again, so you can see here that IP81 is also having a DNS entry, and IP82 is also having the DNS entry right now. So this step has been completed, IPA DNS record. Now we will open firewall, so that has already been done now. So next is, now we are in a situation where we can run this IPA replica install, right? So we'll run a command IPA replica install, and I'm giving no host DNS again because of the reason that I don't have the local DNS server record for those servers. In your enterprise environment, if you have a DNS server, you can before doing this, you can create one a record, one for each servers, and then you can proceed. Then you do not require to provide this no host DNS option, right? So in my case, I am moving ahead. So guys, you can see here it says that lookup failed, right? So lookup has been failed, but it will proceed. So steps are long, so again I am pausing the video, right? Okay, so guys, this command has been completed, and it displays one warning. It says that the CA service is only installed on one server, that is my primary server, but not on my secondary server, and it is asking for running this command, and I've written actually same. So my next step will be to run this IPA CA install and IPA DNS install. So both we need to install. So first we'll run this command IPA CA installed. Now it is asking for directory manager password, and before moving that, let me do one thing which is required actually. It will go to update DNS. So right now what I can do is I can give DNS name server as primary server IP114, and I can try to look up if it is looking up IPA81. So yes, and IPA82, yes, perfect. So now I am in position to run, and I will not be encountered any error, I hope so. So directory manager password I have said during my installation, that will be same, Redhat 123 I have given. Now this will take pretty much more time, I guess, and I've written there that it will take a time. So again I'm pausing. Okay, so guys, you can see my CA component has also installed now. So next I'll be moving for DNS install. It will not take much time, and it is asking for DNS forwarder. So DNS forwarder, yes, I am configuring, and it will pick up a default forwarder from your resolve.conf file, but I'm not going to give these names. I'll use those which I have given in my master primary server. So the first one and the second one. It says, do you want to search for missing reverse zone? No. And it's done. So now both has been set up now, and I've already given you that I've shown you this option that we can get Kerberos key, and we can search for user, we can create DNS record, and then we can find host also. So now let me show you its GUI part. So 114 username admin, logging in, and you can see I have created one user which was Vijay. It is there in IPA 8.1, and because I used to create this Vijay user in IPA 8.1, so it is already there, but it should be also available in IPA 8.2. So this is second server, IPA 8.2. Logging in with same credential, and you can see it is exact replica, right? Exact replica. And guys, you can see in my 8.1 2 hosts presents, and in 8.2 also 2 hosts present. Enrollment status is true. So this is how we can set up multi-master replication in CentOS identity management or Red Hat identity management. Thank you for watching.